Thank you so much to the publishers who sent me these 13 books in the first half of March. Let's get into the haul. First up, thank you to Bantam Books for these 5 books. They send out a quarterly box to their influencers, and this is what I got from them. Definitely Maybe Not a Detective by Sarah Fox is a mystery rom-com that follows a woman who has a fake detective agency who gets entangled in a real-life unaliving investigation. Blood Relay by Devin Mazua is an indigenous thriller that follows an investigation into the disappearance of a beloved ladies' Indian horse relay rider. Greedy by Callie Kazumi, I've actually already read. They sent me another copy before, and I tore through this. I rated it 4.5 stars. I absolutely loved it. It follows this guy named Ed, and he's in some pretty serious gambling debt. And there are people who are obviously wanting him to pay up, and they're threatening his family. So he takes this job masquerading as a private chef for this very successful businesswoman, and he thinks it's the answer to all of his problems, but then he realizes this job is way more sinister than he could have ever imagined. You'll Never Forget Me by Isha Rhea follows a Hollywood actress named Dimple who has accidentally unalived her rival, putting Dimple on top of the game, but the victim's family has hired a private investigator named Safi, and this woman will not leave Dimple alone. And so Dimple knows that it's time that she now takes out Safi. Worse Than a Lie by Ben Crump is the first book in a series, and it follows a civil rights attorney named Bo who is defending a black man who was gunned down after a traffic stop. He miraculously survived, but now he is facing a wrongful conviction. And so Bo is on the case to expose what really took place and get justice for this victim of a very corrupt and racist system. Thank you, St. Martin's Press, for the next 2 books. Killing Me Softly by Sandy Jones publishes on March 31st, and this follows Freya and Charlie, who are a seemingly perfect couple, but after a tragedy, their marriage is in shambles and they begin to turn on each other. I actually just read this one this morning and I thought it was a compulsive page turner and I had a good time with it. After the Fall by Edward Ashton is a comedic sci-fi alien invasion post-apocalyptic story where the aliens, or Greys as they called them in this story, have humans as their companions or pets. Thank you, Putnam Books, for the copy of A Good Person by Kirsten King. This is a debut and it publishes on March 31st. It follows Lillian, who places a hex on her ex-situationship just for him to actually end up dying, and she's now the prime suspect. Thank you, Saga Press, for the copy of Wretch by Eric LaRocca. It publishes on March 24th, and this follows a man who is grieving the loss of his husband and joins a support group called the Wretches, where he is introduced to a figure known as Porcelain Caw, who will grant him one last intimate moment with his dead husband for a price. Thank you, Grand Central Publishing, for not only 1 copy, but 2 copies of Bloodlust by Sandra Brown. This publishes on March 17th, and it follows a detective who is seeking justice for the unaliving of his wife. He's totally crashing out and he is forced into therapy. He soon finds out that the psychotherapist he's been sent to may be the key in getting justice for his wife, but they have this undeniable attraction for each other that could ruin everything. Thank you, Gallery Books, for this copy of Them by W.H. Chismar. It publishes on August 11th, and this follows the story of a top-secret government project that has gone totally wrong. Basically, they're moving matter through the universe and it brings something back. And years later, a man emerges from the ruins and he must face his own dwindling humanity and hopes that there are others that are alive and they haven't turned into monsters. And lastly, thank you to Dutton Books for this copy of Sorry for Your Loss by Georgia McVeigh. It publishes on March 31st, and it follows Iris and Jack, who meet at a grief group. They feel like fate has brought them together, but things take a turn and neither of them is playing by the rules, and we have to figure out whose lies are more dangerous. Thank you for watching, and thank you to the publishers for sending me these books. I am so excited to read all of them. Let me know in the comments which one you think that I should read first.